guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are watching episode 9 of season 2 of The Expanse. Anderson Dawes is sick of Fred Johnson and all of his lies. Holden is sick of Fred Johnson and all of his threats. It seems like Drummer's sticking in there. Fred Johnson might not be in control of Tycho Station that much longer. And I would hope that it wouldn't just be Belter's run amok, that maybe Drummer would probably get in there and tighten up that ship a little bit. I know she was injured last we knew, but she looked like she was just gonna walk it off. She was just gonna throw some dirt on it and get back to work. Now the crew of the Rossi is off to Ganymede. They've got themselves a mission. Naomi told Holden that she loves him, and he responded in kind. But he said no more secrets. And Naomi didn't come clean about the torpedo. It's great for a relationship to start off on, right? Amos is struggling emotionally with memories of his mother and with kind of his pseudo-mother Lydia. As much as I don't want to say that I like to see it, I like to see it because that means that he does have them. They are there. They're just not like me and you. We don't just, he doesn't just feel them freely. Alex is now thinking about his family because of his interaction with Amos, which I thought was a low blow, but I also think it's probably a little bit of a shakeup that maybe Alex needs. I don't know. I don't know why he has this avoidance of seeing his family back on Mars. It's probably because if he's back on Mars, he's going to want to be on the Rocinante. So he's finally in charge of a ship, and he doesn't want to give that up. At least that's my thought in the matter. Holden is charging ahead with no plan because he's Holden, who shoots from the hip. Not always, but frequently. He just is so brash. He's just like, well, think about it on the way there. And Fred Johnson tells him, if you come back to Tycho Station, and you don't give me the proto-molecule, you're not welcome here. And Holden's just like, yeah, you're probably not going to be in charge when we come back anyways. So I don't know what they're going to do if they, again, come in contact with proto-molecule. I feel like if there's a ship in the world and the ship in the universe that you should be on, it would be the Rossi with this crew because of how much they have survived. Like Eros, the Donager, the Canterbury, like there's just so much that they have gotten through on this ship. It's like a lucky ship. And then lastly, we have kind of a new crew member, not a crew member, but more so a guide, as Amos tells him, is Dr. Prax Meng, who knows Dr. Strickland because Dr. Strickland is his daughter's pediatrician. But Dr. Strickland used to work for Protogen, and Protogen has handled that proto-molecule. And because Naomi was searching for the proto-molecule and it was on Ganymede, I'm not sure if it's because of Dr. Strickland, if it's because of the blue guy that we saw. I would hope that if it's Dr. Strickland and he's a pediatrician, he's not doing tests on kids. I wouldn't put it past this show to do that. But if they can find Dr. Strickland, then maybe May is still alive and Prax will be reunited with his daughter. After all, he did witness his friend Doris get spaced. The man's been through enough trauma. Just give him a little smidgen of happiness before you dash it because it's The Expanse. I'm not sure if we're going to go back to series and see anything with Anderson Dawes. I feel like we're not done with like Havelock and Octavia, or maybe we are because Miller's story's done, but I feel like if we ever go back to series, we're probably going to see them again. But the thing that I'm most excited about is the possibility of Bobbie going to Earth and being on Earth to give her testimony about what she saw in Ganymede. Mostly because I feel like her and Crisjen are going to kind of have this bullshit-a-thon where they like just keep calling each other out on it, or there's going to be like chess moves that they're each trying to play with each other. I could be simply just living in a dream world, just imagining that happening. But I feel like they're two formidable women, and Bobbie isn't easy to coerce to say the thing you want her to. She's going to say the thing she wants to say, and I feel like Crisjen's that way too. And then, like, Bobbie on Earth, like, experiencing the atmosphere, air, like breathing in air without a helmet on and being outside and feeling the elements and rain and sunshine and wind and like hot and cold and touching, you know, plants and soil and oceans and lakes and trees and, you know, birds that fly normally, not like those creepy series birds. And I realize that there's less gravity, but I feel like her to experience, oh, she's going to experience gravity. Like 1G. Yeah. But the fact that Miller and Lopez never had that moment and they never got to experience rain or oceans, I hope she gets to see it all. I hope it snows and it sleets and it rains and it sunshines and there's a hurricane and there's a dust storm. I hope she experiences it all. It's like such a weird thing to know that there's like people out there that have never witnessed that. Like people seeing snow for the first time and how it's just insane to them that there's like this flaky stuff falling out of the sky, that it's like fiction, but it's real. You know, like I'm looking forward to those moments with Bobbie. I don't know if we get it in this episode because we didn't get it in the last episode, so please don't leave me hanging. It might not be a big deal at all when she lands on Earth, but I feel like it should be. Because they've made it very clear that like a Belter and a Martian who never experienced those things, that it was really important for them to experience. And I hope, I mean, a little bit of me hopes that like she might have a little bit of a love for Earth because of that. Not like all of a sudden she wants to be an Earther, but like she realizes how important it is to protect the planet that's Earth because of all the things that it holds. We'll see. Okay, I'm not going to mess around. I'm super excited to get into this episode, so let's get into it. The Weeping Somnambulist? Somnambulist? Who dis? With the Weeping Somnambulist? Relief ship. I don't know if I said any of that right. That cleared nothing.
Manifest and IDs, please.
Look. Here.
Oh, he jumped in there real quick.
I'm gonna have to search the rest of the ship.
Copy.
Sure, let's waste some more time.
What is this even about?
We're gonna have to impound your ship.
That's outrageous.
Just calm down.
No! Enough is enough!
Is that Holden?
Melissa!
Oh, it was. Okay.
Wait. I know you. I've seen your face. You're James Holden.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is that famous.
Well, this is off to a good start.
Holden being famous and whatnot. Jesus. Is this... it's our girl. It looks like she's going through Earth's atmosphere.
You need to take 1 dose of each of these every day. And Blood Ox Booster. And this is Osteo X, which is a rapid bone density enhancer. And I strongly recommend that you use these as well for when we land.
It's not the landing I imagined.
At all. Yeah.
I forgot it.
No, you didn't.
Getting a Purple Heart is upsetting.
Because I have orders to follow too, and the defense minister wants you wearing this when you give your statement.
I forgot, like, you totally have to prepare yourself physically for that.
All right, everyone. Remember, keep your eyes front. Do not look up. Stay strong. Not here to give the Blues anything to laugh about.
Interesting. Oh, well, there's something to laugh about.
Forget your sunglasses too, Gunny.
No, sir.
Her poor eyes, I never experienced something like that before. Okay, well, she saw the creepiest bird she possibly could.
I've been getting personal updates from Colonel Janice.
I wouldn't mind being in that loop.
Well, I think you have more than enough on your plate already. Venus was the end of Eros. I seriously doubt we'll find anything down there.
If we're lucky.
Which means we probably will.
Surveillance of a Martian puking as soon as he steps out of his dropship. If you need a cheap laugh in the meantime.
Maybe later.
Cozy R, I like you.
You really believe he hasn't had any contact with Jules Pierre Mouse since Eros?
You tell me. That's your job.
Of course he has.
Aaron is not gonna tell you shit.
He definitely won't.
That's why I have an inside man.
Her old buddy.
What are you doing?
I'm just helping this bright young lady adjust the sensor array.
That's hard to believe.
Of course, Colonel Janus.
Yeah, you're mispronouncing that. He's Portuguese. The J's silent.
So it's Colonel Amos?
When I was little, I was fascinated by stars. Drove my father crazy with all my questions.
Oh, I'm sure there are many other reasons. Well, you know, that's normal for a child, right?
That's because children are stupid.
Hey.
What do you think Eros left behind on Venus? Little gray humanoids with big black eyes who've come to turn us into food?
Maybe.
I'm astonished that Australia didn't kick you out of her office.
Well, you know, just between the two of us, she's kind of got a thing for me, right?
No.
Doesn't look like we've attracted any attention so far.
Keep a close watch.
Oh, so they're taking this so they can get to Ganymede. Got it.
These supplies can save lives.
And they'll get where they're needed. I promise.
I don't believe you.
Oh, really? I do.
Well, voila.
What we're doing is for the good of the belt.
Boy, this ship is a grade A piece of shit.
Amos has spoken.
You don't know me, but I was a colleague.
No.
I was a friend of
Is
your
it
cousin
Doris?
Doris.
Yeah.
We worked together on Ganymede. She was badly injured in transit. And she died. She probably wouldn't have even been on the ship with me if she hadn't helped me.
Oh, don't do that to yourself, Prax. Why can't it be sent?
Come on, we need you upstairs.
No, I need to send a message.
You can't.
Why can't I?
Cap said.
Am I a prisoner?
No, someone will know where you guys are.
Then I have the right to know why. And I'm not going anywhere until you tell me.
I would not speak to Amos that way.
I was a Marine for 45 years. We trained extensively in 1G. It's like riding a bike.
With tires made of lead.
Wow.
In victory or defeat,
That's a good thing to keep in mind.
you should spread it to your fleet.
Maybe you could tell them when our ships get to Jupiter. It won't take long.
We're looking forward
Quite a
to
pissing
it.
match happening here, huh?
Let's start by remembering the fallen.
So the issue at hand is de-escalation. Let's get right to it.
Right into it. Okay, got a little bit before we get to Draper.
They have no more idea what's going on than we do. Or they were prepared in advance to collect data on the field test of their new weapon. You can't dismiss the possibility.
Jesus, Janice.
Any interference with our operations may be considered an act of war. Arbogast out.
Arbogast is a horrible ship name.
I believe we'll find your daughter.
You can stop pretending to care about my daughter. What does she have to do
Ow.
with this proto-molecule you're after?
How do you know about that?
I told him.
Okay.
He's helping us. We should be straight with him.
If I support it.
What was Strickland treating her for?
She has a genetic disorder, Myers-Skeleton premature immunosensinosis. They're not quite sure what causes it. He gave her regular injections. He kept her alive.
That can't be a coincidence.
That proto crap and that genetic disease. Well, what's the connection?
We'll ask Strickland when we find him.
I just don't want him to be testing that on kids.
We'll leave the Somnambulist once we dock, and then we'll intermingle with the locals.
Your plan's always this vague.
This is
Yes.
about average.
You must be very lucky.
We certainly had our fair share.
Hey. Once I'm there, I'm gonna tuck her
behind one of those 71 cute little moons. Then I'll wait.
Cute little moons.
I will quietly deorbit, no burn, hug the surface, and we will rendezvous at one of these service airlocks here.
Alex does not have a vague plan at all.
That's your plan.
Yeah. Welcome to Rossi.
I hope your luck rubs off.
It doesn't most of the time.
This is Marine Gunnery Sergeant Roberta Draper. She will be giving you her account of the battle. Sergeant Draper.
Sir, the UN Marines appeared to be charging our position.
Are you saying that we opened fire on you?
No, sir. At the time, our comms were jammed on the field. We mistook a training exercise as an active engagement and opened fire without orders.
Gunny.
According to our investigation, it was Private Richard Travis that fired the first shot.
He was born on Earth. His parents emigrated to Mars when he was a child. He'd had some discipline problems
Crisjen.
recently, which suggest he might have been trying to prove that he was more Martian than Earther.
We appreciate your candor.
Come on, Bobbie.
Ganymede Station is an important food supply outside of Earth and Mars. And it's
Really
in
wanted
neither
her to
of our
say more,
interests
but look at
to leave it
Crisjen.
crippled.
She knows that bullshit meter is deet, 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 deet.
And if that story stops a war that we do not want, then he died a hero. You did well in there, Gunny.
She lied.
Open the shades. Open all of them.
It'll let them save face back home. How would you like us to proceed?
Squeeze the arrogant dusters for everything you can get, of course.
With pleasure, sir.
Okay, that's not what I expected.
Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, Crisjen.
I never understood that idiotic phrase.
No one's completely happy, but everyone comes out of it with something. You know what that's called?
Horse trading.
Fair enough. These two better make it. They didn't ask for this. Amos, put the other gun away. You're showing a little too much of it.
Godspeed, cowboys. See you soon. Somnambulist out.
Somnambulist. I already have a hard enough time pronouncing things on this show. the two ships in this one, count me out.
I think that covers everything.
Almost.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to need a statement from your government accepting responsibility.
You're not going to get one.
Never hurts to ask.
I'd like to speak to Sergeant Draper again. I have a few questions.
Madam, this has been an exhausting session.
I find it hard to believe that a Martian Marine would be fatigued from sitting in a chair. We all came here in the hopes that we could begin to trust each other. I want to speak with Sergeant Draper. Now.
Make it so. God, I love her. I want to be Crisjen Officerala when I grow up.
To turn a lifeless rock into a garden. A dear friend told me that. He wanted to retire to Mars, but he died.
He was murdered.
Did you know that the majority of people on Earth don't have jobs?
I did know that.
You call them takers, I believe.
I didn't know that.
In this building, it's easy to forget.
With all due respect, madam, where are you going with this?
Wherever I goddamn like.
I love her.
After all that sacrifice and all his training, the training that made him, as you said, one of your best soldiers, do you believe, after all that hard work, that Travis would jeopardize the lives of his fellow soldiers by foolishly jumping the gun?
Nope.
No, he was trying to kill the enemy. I didn't even know what it was. Nobody did. He wasn't wearing a vac suit.
Sergeant Draper has been through a severe, traumatic event. She needs to rest.
Whoever the fuck you are, stand down and let her speak. Unless there is something you don't want her to say.
Uh-huh.
Do as you've been instructed, Sergeant.
am sweating. I love her so much. I love her for this. Tell your truth, Bobbie. Come on, girl. Come on, girl.
It was Travis.
Ugh.
He panicked.
Thank you, Sergeant. That will be all.
Why did Aaron Wright look a little uncomfortable there?
What is that?
The Drake equation.
Looks like 6th grade algebra.
God, Janice is such a dick.
We might be too far apart, or perhaps they're just broadcasting the signals for too short a time.
Or maybe all those other civilizations are gone. Maybe it's the
Really?
nature of intelligent life to destroy itself.
Well, I prefer to think that intelligent life can choose not to.
More magical thinking.
Oh my god, I do not like Janice.
Hold it. Go in on that. What is that?
Is that on the surface of Venus?
Jesus.
Is it Miller waving from the surface?
Life in an environment that melts lead. It should be impossible.
Eros changes everything.
Wow.
Just like a soldier on Ganymede without a suit.
Mm-hmm. Where are you going with that, Crisjen? Celine?
Don't worry there, Miss Celine.
Celine.
We just need to hide under your skirt for a little while.
Alex flirting with a moon.
That's my girl.
Stop flirting with your ship, too.
Local muscle will come on board. Take 10% of our cargo. Business as usual.
It doesn't have to be.
I don't want you doing a goddamn thing. I know your type. You're on a crusade. So go save the world if you think you can. I'll settle for helping a few of the poor souls who have to live in it.
We'll be out the door as soon as we land.
Maybe it's a Holden to just be like, we'll help. We can get it done. Jesus. I want his daughter to be okay, but I feel like she's not going to be.
Reminds me of Baltimore.
Doesn't? Local muscle. Holden.
Our agreement was 10%. Take 20. Skim the best.
See, this time we're taking all of the cargo and the ship. We being Somnambulist. I like that.
We were thinking of naming her after her goldfish.
You're funny. Most people are just scared shitless of us.
All right, we have a deal.
We got company!
Holden the self-righteous. Although I'm not mad at it. Crazy how Holden just started becoming a killer all of a sudden.
Jesus.
Yeah.
They were gonna kill you. We had to do something.
Oh. Oh.
Please.
Go! Or I'll call the harbor master, or the Martians, or whoever it takes to make you leave! Get off my ship! Go!
Yeah. Holden's need to save the world. That's it? Trying to keep my swears to myself. Oh, there's 13 episodes in this season. Oh. I was not aware that there were 13 episodes in this season. I thought that there was just 10, so that makes me incredibly happy. Okay, I'm not going to even bother trying to pronounce these names, because Navu, Aaron Wright, Amos, like, it just... Rocinante, Rosie, Bobbie Draper, got it. Drummer, got it. Naomi, Alex, Holden, Miller. Like, when you start throwing out some of these other names, nah. I mean, it's probably very important, but if I can get away with not saying the ones that are hard to pronounce, I think I'm better for it. With me, it's not the only show that I messed that shit up on. It by far is it the only show. But I was really excited to see Bobbie on Earth, kind of her experience with Earth, the atmosphere. You know, her like choosing to not wear the sunglasses. I don't know what that was about necessarily. Like if you're not used to the sun being on Earth, like obviously it's going to be very bright for you and it's going to hurt you. And like I don't know, she just like needs pain to get through life. Looking out the window, you know, she had to like close the shades and then she opened them up and then she was like really trying to like see everything. I really thought that she was going to, I don't want to say tell on Mars, but tell the truth and the whole truth. I don't think that it would mean that Mars is at fault. And I also don't think that it would mean that the UN is at fault. And I know she's trying to be a good soldier, but like she still threw Travis under the bus after he had already been thrown under the bus. And Crisjen cleared a path for her to tell 100% the truth. And granted, I guess the guy's name is Korshinov. Whoever the long-historied Marine Martian guy that was at the table, you know, he yells at her to stop, and so does Captain Martins. And I really wish she had been able to keep talking, but she did let slip that there was somebody that was not in a vac suit that they were shooting at, or that somebody was shooting at. I'm so glad Crisjen picks up on this shit. I'm so glad that she can see that something is or is not the truth. And she could see that Draper was having a hard time with Travis having to take the fall. And it's a very smart plan. Make the Earther that is part of the Martian Marines the problem. Make him responsible, because then it's a lot easier for him to be a scapegoat. He's dead. But I don't think Draper is going to be okay with it. I think it's not going to settle with her that she's letting him take that blame. It's going to eat her alive. And I'm glad that I've gotten to see a lot of her emotional side and how she feels about her crew and her people, because I don't think she's comfortable with that at all. Like, she was very much raving about the type of Marine that he was. And definitely I don't think that she wants that to be his legacy. Very interesting what else was going on the research vessel that Janice is on. Again, Arvagast, something like that. I don't know. I don't want to attempt some of these names. Like, they can't just like call a ship like Nick or Tommy. Even Doninger is a lot better to remember than the somnambulist. I don't know. But the kind of pissing match that you see with Dr. Iturbi and Janice, and there's a lot of pissing matches on this show between two people, let me tell you. I don't really like the Doctor as much. I know he's a spy for Crisjen, and is like feeding her information, but I don't particularly like how he is with every female he's around. He seems a bit predatory. It's just not my vibe. I don't like it. But I do love how him and Janice kind of have this back and forth about how, you know, magic isn't real, and how convenient that aliens or that, you know, intelligent life elsewhere wouldn't give us long distance signals. If intelligent life saw us on like their little telescope, 100% they're like, nah, let's avoid that. That looks like a clusterfuck. Milky Way galaxy, let's just stay out of there. No good at all. Now, with like Ehrenreich and Nguyen, like, they're definitely just these like cocky United Nations jackasses. And the Martians aren't any better, but they're just like trying to one up each other and like, oh, is our gravity too much for you? And even Crisjen has to like throw in there that he's like, oh, it's like riding a bike, and she's like, with lead wheels. Like they just don't like each other, do they? Gosh, a little bit of compassion would go a long way on both sides, I think. Mostly Earth. I feel like Earth, we are kind of a bunch of assholes to the rest of the solar system. I'm wondering though, it looked like Ehrenreich was kind of, I don't know, he was having like a thoughtful moment at the end of the whole Draper Crisjen secondary talk that they had. And I wonder if now he's thinking about the guy that wasn't wearing a vac suit on Ganymede. Speaking of Ganymede, the Rocinante crew is now on Ganymede, and they stole the ship. The Somnambulist. Oh, why? I'm just gonna call it the Sami. They steal the Sami, and the captains of that ship are bringing aid to Ganymede, and she is not happy. I believe her name is Melissa. Yes. And then Santichai. Either way, it's her hubs. It's her man. And because Holden has to save the world, and quite frankly, they were going to take everything and the ship. But I think she would rather not have the ship and then take everything, but still have her man. And again, Holden just shoots from the hip. Like there is no plan. And, she ends up losing her husband. And, he just has to deal with like these emotions of wanting to do the right thing. Like I value that about him. Like trying to be the hero. I don't know if he like wants to like be a hero in the sense of being called a hero, but like he wants to do the heroic thing for these people and help people because they helped him even though they didn't really have to, and quite frankly they probably wouldn't have if they weren't held at gunpoint. But now he has to kind of live with this man's death on his conscience, and we already know that Holden doesn't deal well with that kind of thing. It really eats him alive. And I am thinking that Naomi's going to have to bring him back from the brink again. And I'm really tired of that being her job, not only for Holden, but also for Amos. But even, like, it's just in general, the men on the Rocinante need Naomi to, like, calm them the fuck down. And I've rarely ever seen her get mad. And when she has, it's proving a very valid point. So I don't know if there's going to be a moment in the next episode where she is like, probably don't have to get involved every single time. Amos was very confused. Like he seemed mildly upset. Not upset. Upset's not the right word, but like, I don't even know if it was confused, but like how Melissa felt about her husband dying. He seemed to just be like not even confused. I don't really know. He had a thought as he's walking out. And I feel like every time he sees emotional reactions out of people, he doesn't know how to absorb them. He doesn't know if she's sad because he died. Is she sad about the ship? Is she sad about like what is she sad about? And maybe he doesn't get all the nuances of the emotions that she's expressing all at one time. Very interesting for Amos. Now we are on Ganymede, and I'm hoping that Prax doesn't have to wait too long to find out where his daughter is, or if she's even okay, if she survived, where the doctor is. Hopefully they find Dr. Strickland fairly soon. I don't know if like I don't know how you find somebody in Ganymede, because it looks like there's multiple domes. So I don't know if you travel underground. I don't know if you have to like put on suits and like trudge across, if there's like a vehicle. But because it's in the cleanup stage, I don't know if there's going to be a lot of people checking or like running security necessarily, or if it's going to be even heavier. Because if it's under Mars control and the cleanup's under Mars control, I hope our crew gets through somewhat easily. They probably won't. And Alex is just kind of hanging out on the moon of Selene, and he's flirting with the moon and he's flirting with his ship. Sometimes it just makes me uncomfortable. But hopefully, because he's listening to comms, hopefully he hears something that is very useful and very helpful and gets a recording and is able to share it with the crew, so that informs them of what to do after they've finished their mission on Ganymede. I don't want to not watch another episode. I want to watch another one. When it's been like a solid week since I've watched an episode, like all I want to do is start binging it again. And my mind starts working overtime. I will probably dream about this episode. I will probably think about it all day. That's what this show does to me. It really injects itself into my mind. Okay, guys, if you want to watch the full-length reaction to this episode, it is available on my Patreon. You will need your own copy, as well as early reactions up to 2 episodes early. But remember to like, subscribe. Comment down below if I missed anything. Or if I just keep mispronouncing shit, just tell me everything that I mispronounced and how to pronounce it correctly. I'm really bad at it. I'm really bad at it. Mostly because my mouth moves before my brain, so like my brain can't like transmit it to my mouth in enough time. My mouth just spews it out. Okay, guys. I think I'm probably going to watch another episode now. I'm going to eat lunch, and then I'm going to watch another episode. Take a little break. Let it digest. Let me digest. And then I'll watch another episode. Okay, guys. I'll see ya after lunch.